of course, my grandfather and my dad never did anything, bad to me at all, but, I remember my mom telling me, about the driving. She wasn't allowed to drive. So she was working. She saved up enough money to buy her own car. And she didn't know how to drive this car. And she learned how to drive this car that she bought. And she got her driver's license. And my dad's reaction was, well, who did you flirt with to get it? Or who, what kind of insinuating that she had an affair or something to get the driver's license, which it was totally off the wall for, my dad to say something like that. And of course, I remember my mom telling me the story. And mind you, I never heard these stories until I was older. Yeah. My mom always kept things secret. I never knew any of these things until later, until I had kids of my own. She would tell me all these stories. I'm like, what, Mom, are you serious? And she'd tell me all these things. And she's just like, well, I just didn't want you to think bad of your father. Or I didn't want you to, it's just something you shouldn't have known. It was none of your business. You were too young to know all those things or whatever it is, right? And but Dad was, I don't know, Dad was sometimes mean to her like that, like, but I don't know. I mean, they divorced when I was very young.
Which in itself is crazy for the time period.
Right.
You're not supposed to get divorced, right? Like,
no, you're supposed to suffer and make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was instilled in me by my grandma. My grandma
suffer and make it work.
Suffer and make it work. That's right.
Even when
you
it's
only
not
get
working.
one time, right? You only get one marriage in this lifetime. You suffer and you make it work. And I think that was more like a culture thing,